Hey, it's Brent with another question from a reader. It says, "Hey Brent, I think a lot of guys always talk about techniques and stuff. I've tried some techniques, but none really work too well for me. In order to be more successful with women, what kind of inner work must be done?" A lot of inner work. In fact, it's the most important thing that you'll do. It'll be the base for everything that happens to you in your life. And so that everything you go out and say and do will have more power because it'll have this incredible vibe behind it. So here's how it works. You just simply create a story about your life. Right now you have a story about what happens to you and what your life is like. Create a brand new story. And it needs to include what you want to have happen when it comes to women. So you want to write it in the present tense. This is very important, as if it's already happening. So whenever I go out of the house, beautiful, smart women come up to me and they say this, and then we do this, and then we go here. Okay? So you want to create a story just like that. You can create a short story or a long story, but when you say it, you're going to tell yourself your story in no more, within 3 to 5 minutes. So make it easy, chunk it down, make it digestible and easy for you to do every day, or you won't do it. Okay, so you've got this story. The secrets to having the story really work for you are, number one, be specific. So if there's a certain type of girl that you like, certain hair color, you know what I mean, all that kind of stuff. Because what's going to happen is you're going to manifest exactly what it is that's in your story. So you can be vague if you want, or you can be specific. I'm going to challenge you to be specific in your story. Number one, so that you can have what you truly want. And number two, so that you can actually prove to yourself that this works. Because the more specific you are, when it happens, you can point to it and say, wow, this really works, and it'll give you more inspiration to go on and keep going down the path. Okay? So, now you've got your story. The most important, excuse me, let me get a little drink here. The most important thing about your story is the way that you're going to do it and the time you're going to do it and so on. So here's the deal. You want to tell yourself your story as soon as you wake up in the morning. So as soon as you get out of bed, walk in front of a mirror if you can and do it in a mirror. That's the most effective, especially if you're a beginner. And you want to tell yourself your story. And you want to get really excited about it. So you want to tell yourself your story and say, every time I walk out of the house, this is what happens to me, and this is where I go, and this is what the deal is, and women are all over me, and they do this. Okay? So you want to physically get excited about it. That's what I do. Another secret to having your story work for you is you now have got to get it into a picture in your head. Okay? It's called visualizing. You need to visualize what having that life looks like. Okay? So as you're getting physically excited, you need to start daydreaming about it, right? That's all visualizing is. It's just daydreaming. It's you kind of thinking, oh yeah, this is what would happen if my life is like this. Yeah, I can see girls coming up to me in a club and so on. Now, if you don't know what success with women looks like, then you're going to need to grab success from two different places. One, you could go back to any time you were successful in your life where, and I don't care what it's at, something where you felt really good about yourself and you want to reminisce and live in those moments and then bring that moment back over to your story. Or you may need to watch some movies, some James Bond flicks or some other images or video of guys who are successful with women so that you can then know what it looks like. But either way, don't let anything stop you. Go ahead and visualize anyway. Work on your visualizing. Those are going to be the key components to your story. Now, the second time you're going to do your story is going to be right before you go to sleep because you want your mind to start working on it, and instead of like drifting off and thinking about the stuff you didn't do today and what you got to do tomorrow and you start worrying, you want to then tell yourself your story so that when you go to work, your mind can start working on it, okay? That's very, very important. Okay, so the other times that you might repeat your story or tell yourself your story during the day, and mind you, there's no official like how many times you should do it per day. It's whenever you think about your life, you should repeat your story in your head. You don't have to say it out loud in those moments, like if you're at work or in the car or something, you can just think it. Anytime you have doubt or negativity, right? So you need to combat that with saying, actually, so every time you have doubt or negativity, you need to say, actually, this is my life, and this is what happens to me, and so on and so on. Okay? So it's about repetition. And it's about convincing yourself, okay? The more times you tell yourself, the more you will convince yourself that this is your life because it's all related to what you believe your life is, right? So if you have a problem with that or if there's some kind of resistance to that, realize that you're only living your current life because you've told yourself that this is your life. Over and over and over and over again, you've convinced yourself, and then you go around consciously and unconsciously gathering evidence to support your life. Like, see, Brent, this is how my life is. See, this is why it is, right? Well, the exciting news is that when you start convincing yourself of a better life, you will also go through the same process. If, in fact, you keep it in your head, stay aware, stay present, and you repeat it whenever you think about your life. Now, one of the things that stops guys as well is they do their story a few times a day, but the rest of the day they speak negative to themselves. So what you need to do is be aware of the negativity that's going on, and every single time you need to do that. So here's another way to do it. Every time you have a doubt or a negative thought, you need to tell yourself your story 3 times. Tell yourself 3 positive thoughts. That will absolutely guarantee that all negativity will be out of your life, period. Okay, now the other thing you got to do is you got to do this thing 7 days a week. Do not skip a day. 7 days a week. That's why if you do it for 3 to 5 minutes in the morning, 3 to 5 minutes at night, and just kind of whenever it happens in your life during the day, this will be easy to do. You won't get overwhelmed. 7 days a week. You know, the difference between successful people and average people is really, honestly, doing things that other people won't do and doing things that other people won't do consistently. And sometimes it's as simple as this, telling yourself your story. Because I get calls from guys all the time who say, or emails from guys who say, you know, well, it's sort of working, but I'm not really doing it every day. I forgot or didn't feel like it or whatever. Okay, then it's not going to work. You got to do it every single day. Okay, so that brings me to the next secret. Okay, the secret to doing it every day is you need to create a new habit. Okay? Just like you've created the new habit of thinking about how your life isn't what it should be. That's a habit. So we're just going to create a new habit. The secret to creating a habit is to create a daily ritual, which is what I'm talking about, right? First thing in the morning, right before you go to sleep, and any time during the day. Now, if you say, well, I'll forget it or whatever, then do anything it takes, do whatever it takes to remember to tell yourself your story. So I don't care whether you have to put a Post-it note on top of your alarm clock or on your cell phone or on the mirror in your bathroom that says, do your story or do my story or whatever. You need to do whatever it takes, because once this habit takes hold, there will be no effort anymore. It will be automatic. That's the exciting thing. So do it for 30 days, commit to it, self-discipline, and I'm guaranteeing your life will absolutely change. Now, here's another thing. If you want to kick it up just a little bit more, you could add 2 other things that I haven't mentioned yet. When you first wake up in the morning, you open your eyes, you can say, today's going to be another great day as usual. My life is extraordinary. Cool thing to say, right? Because generally when you wake up, especially if you're one of those guys who does the morning debate, which is, well, I'm kind of tired, I'm going to hit the snooze button like 3 times, then you're not really asleep when you're asleep. When you hit that snooze button, you're kind of like thinking, and then real life starts seeping in. Oh man, what I got to do today? Oh yeah, my life sucks, all this kind of stuff. No. You want to combat it, okay, by saying what I just told you. Then, in addition to that, if you want to pick it up another notch, create a grateful list. Okay, sometimes the most effective thing to combat negativity and doubt and remind yourself how great your life already is to recount the things and be grateful for the things that are going great in your life, even if they seem insignificant or things that you would take for granted, especially if they're things that you would take for granted. So, after you say, this is going to be another great day as usual. My life is extraordinary. I have great friends. I have great family. I'm so grateful that I have my health and money and a roof over my head. And, I'm mentally sane and I am physically healthy. And I've got this and I've got that and I've got that. Remind yourself. And your list everyone's could be different. And I don't even care if you have 3 things on your list. You've got to remind yourself how incredible your life already is. You're alive. That's number 1. You're alive. I'm alive. This is incredible. My life is fantastic. So that when negativity and doubt comes in during the day, you'll have just more ammunition to fight it, okay? So here's how it could work. Bottom line. You get up. Say, my life is extraordinary. Today's going to be another great day as usual. I'm so grateful that I have great friends and great family and great mental health and great physical health, and I have great wealth. Money comes easy and frequently. It comes in all day long. It's so simple for me. I'm always moving forward. My life is fantastic. Now, you see how I've gone from saying a couple things to the grateful list, and I've moved right into my story. Okay, so I don't even want you guys to think about affirmations anymore, because affirmations have become a story. I teach it as it's a story because it's just easier to understand and it's simpler. This is a much faster way to flow it, okay? So my life is incredible. I'm always moving forward. All I have is opportunity. I only have opportunity. I go to the next level every single day. When I go out of my house, women come up to me and they're propositioning me. They ask me to have sex even at the store. They say, look, can you come to my car and I can drive you to my place and we can hook up? Okay? So how long did that take me to say? It took me like what, 10, 15 seconds to say that? Okay, so you see how much you could fit into it. So if you do that and you get physically excited now, also when I'm saying all that, I'm thinking about it in my head. I'm getting into a picture in my head. I'm visualizing being at Whole Foods and having some girl come up to me and proposition me. I'm visualizing me taking my life to the next level every day in the way that I do that. Okay? So if you do all that and you do that every single day, your life's going to change. Your life's going to change. How can it not change? Because it's the opposite of what you're doing now. And here's the great thing. Another thing I want you to understand and be excited about is that this doesn't require a new skill. You're already, as I've told you before, you're already an expert at it. Because you're already putting the negative information in and living that life. So all I'm asking you to do is put new info in the machine that you've already built. And then just do it consistently. Be this certain kind of guy. All of a sudden you'll have this life. Okay, so listen, I hope that helps. That's all I have to say about it, and I'll talk to you later.